Meetings are relevant, and to understand how to optimize meetings the best, you need to know what the purpose and the context of a meeting is. And in this video, I want to show you the typical reasons for making meetings and the things that you need to get right so that you get meetings actually figured out and that they work for you and not against you. So first of all, meetings are the central places of recurring communication for coordination and collaboration purposes. So here you recurringly meet and you typically discuss the complex things and you make sure that you have everything under control that you need to have under control for reaching your goals. So therefore, there are different types of communications that you want to do within a meeting. And let's have a look at those. So first of all, there's operations communication. Second of all, there's steering communication. And third of all, there's social communication. Operations communication, steering, and social. Let's dive into all of those. Let's start with operations communication. This is any kind of discussion about anything that you need to get your work done and to coordinate the work process with any kind of touch points, with another team member, with another department, with or without the customer. Well, here the question is, what problems need to be solved to get the operations up and running and to reach our goals? What are our next steps is a typical question. Where is coordination necessary now so that everything is processed smoothly? Those are the questions that you want to ask there in order to get it right. And therefore also important questions: which coordination with whom is really necessary? Sometimes you invite people that shouldn't just sit in a meeting, and then please develop a habit of asking, hey, am I really needed in this meeting? Or can you brief me later and I go back to something more important right now? So make it normal to drop out of meetings if you are not necessary there. Don't waste your money and time and the corporate resources. And also, do you have the work management system in place? Do you have everything in the work management system so that people who are not sitting in the meeting are also informed by the comments that you put in the work management system within that meeting? Next, we have the steering communication. And the steering communication is everything about strategic planning, where you go like, what are the goals that we're having again? And in how far do we have the capacities right? In how far do we have the approaches right? In how far are we on track actually reaching the goals we want to reach? And what do we need to optimize in terms of steering? So we ask, is the delegation on track? Do we need to optimize the strategy? Maybe we need to optimize and redo the delegation conversation. How are the projects running? How are the processes running? Is there anything that needs to be improved? What is the status of our portfolio? So the list of projects that we're doing, do we have anything under control? And does everybody have the important info that they need? So the steering communication is super important and typically the one that is forgotten in so many organizations. Steering communication is concerned not about the operations and getting things done at the moment. It's concerned that you actually reach the goals and that all the projects do what all the projects need to do so that you reach strategic goals and actually progress within your organization. And in the end, social communication. And there are social communication endeavors where you go for an offsite, for example, where you actually plan in dinners or activities. Social communication is all about shaping the social relationships. It's proper relationships that are kind of the loop within an organization that make things run smoothly. You want to reduce the stress and you want to up the reward and all the stress domains that you have already learned. So SCARF, status, certainty, autonomy, relatedness, fairness need to be addressed and need to be worked on so that things are running well within a team. The alignment of people in a team belongs to that. Are we all together working on the same goal? Are we fulfilling the normative level? So the values, the vision, the mission, the beliefs, is it all under control? And are we behaving the way that we should? And are we giving proper feedback? We need to make sure that we plan in social communication to give feedbacks, to optimize, to improve all along the way. And that is something that will be so valuable for all kinds of organizations. So again, for all those meetings, who is really necessary, and did we put in all the learnings into the work management system? And yes, also from a social gathering, there can be a learning in terms of, well, we need to focus more on this goal, and we need to have those two people collaborating, sitting together. And then please plan that in. Every meeting should have the final question: what did we learn? What do we change? And who does what by when? And did somebody put it in our work management system? So be clear about the purpose of your meeting, and then make sure that you moderate it properly, which will be the topic of the next video.